No, I think it's actually better. I think it's more of an advantage for me fighting 56 days after my last fight than, Sara fighting 10 months after hers. I mean, if you think about it, this would never happen in boxing. You would never see two guys fighting for a title with one guy having a 10-month layoff. No promoter would let him do that just because they'd be so worried about ring rust. They would have him have a tune-up fight first and then fight for the title. And so I think it's more of a problem that she has not fought in so long than I fought so recently, because I mean, I've looked at me and my coach have looked at all my past performances, and I always had my best showings when there was a shorter turnaround.
Right.
And I'm used to doing that in judo too. I would do the Europe tour and I would have a World Cup 4 weekends in a row.
Right.
And the funny thing is, I always did the best in the last one. Well, I don't want to give anything away, but everybody presents their own unique problems, and she brings her own unique things to the table. And people have tried a bunch of different ways to approach me and approach a fight, and I always expect that they're going to come out with something different. And so we'll see whatever different ideas that they have, but we pretty much focus on not so much what the other person's weaknesses are, but we focus on what my weaknesses are and do everything that we can to close them for the whole camp. The more the focus is on me and making it so whichever approach that they have, we have an answer to it. Instead of really worrying about how I'm going to catch her, we kind of more spend time on how I can make myself uncatchable. Sara is, on paper, she's an amazing athlete, and athletically you could say that we're very close to equals, and that's why people are so excited about this fight. But I think that I'm more of a fighter than she is. I can tell that this title is not as important it is to her as it is to me. She has a kid at home, and she has to go home to that kid. And I can afford to be selfish where she can't. I'm willing to die in there, and she can't. I mean, I keep trying to top myself. Pretty much. I mean, like, it's hard to keep being creative and think of what can I do that's crazier than the last thing. And that's why I'm so excited about this fight with Sara, because she is. It's an amazing matchup. Two undefeated Olympic medalists fighting for a title, and I don't know. I have to get creative to create new records. And I think that this is a record. Because I think I'm tying Matt Hughes with the fastest title fight turnaround in history. It was 56 days, and he actually lost his second one. And so I'm going to be the first one to win 2 title fights back to back. There you go, record.
Speaking of first round, this is the first time 2 Olympic medalists have met inside the cage. Wasn't guys, was you guys, it was the ladies. 10 years from now, it's looking like this could be the norm. That this is going to be the shift that's going to happen. You're going to see more of that. That said, how much does it mean to you to be the first to do this and to set that mark?
It'll mean a lot more to me after I win. I don't really sit and bask and I'm like, oh, what a great piece of history I accomplished today. Like, I don't really do that until I'm sitting down in my hotel room eating buffalo wings and I look at my friends and I was like, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? Like, that's more my celebration. So yeah, ask me the day after the fight, and I'll share some wings and let you know. I might not share.
Do you have every intention for
Especially
fighting?
if you're a ranch guy.
I'm a honey mustard guy.
What?
Yeah.
No, chunky blue cheese, sorry. Gotta look.
Do you have every intention for fighting for years to come, or is it just one fight at a time, 1 year?
It's one fight at a time. I play it by ear. I mean, I had no idea if you asked me 2 years ago what I'd be doing today, I would have no clue. I wouldn't see a lot of this stuff coming. So, man's plans are proof that God has a sense of humor. So I'm just, the more far in the future I plan, the more vague my plans are. So then, it's more likely that they're not going to be off.
Yeah.
Well,
I get concerned. I do have my concerns about this pay-per-view. It's a really quick turnaround, so I really haven't given people a chance to miss me. And it's after 2 huge pay-per-views, the Super Bowl card and the New Year's card. And and when I'm the headliner, all the pressure really does fall on me to deliver. And I've had so many fights and so much movies and all this stuff. It's just it wasn't the best of my fight camp to do as much press as I did as the Carmouche fight. I really had to cut it down. And I do worry about these things, but it's like the number one issue in front of me is the fight. The pay-per-view second, and I have to do what's best for the fight and what's best for me to win. And so, I've talked to Dana about, whatever concerns that I do have, and he says, like, look, it's my job to sell pay-per-view. Just worry about winning this fight.
And I wonder along those lines, I mean, I see a lot of similarities between you and Floyd Mayweather in that you're both great fighters and you're both great salesmen, and you get people interested. I wonder, have you ever talked to Floyd, or have you studied him at all and tried to take, any technique that he's used to try to promote yourself?
My coach definitely cites Floyd Mayweather all the time, and he really does believe that he's the best boxer out there right now, and I agree with him. And I was actually kind of sad before that he was so against MMA, but now he's managing MMA fighters, so I'm like,
He
yay! Yeah, so he is someone that I aspire to be very much like in a business sense, and it's just I could try and take whatever lessons that I can, and my coach definitely tries to throw some stylistic things my way that he also learns from him.
Speaking on the promotional front and kind of being yourself, 157 you debut, you carry women's MMA into the UFC, you play the heroine, next fight's Tate, and you kind of take over the role of the heel. So you've played the good girl, so to speak, and the heel. Do you have a role that you perform more? Do you not really think about it that much? Or you just adapt to each situation?
I never pretended to be a good girl.
I didn't say pretend. I said you were the good girl. Or did I say pretend?
You said played.
Played, okay.
Think I'm playing you right now?
No comment, not at all.
Okay. Well, I just try to be myself, and when people want to portray, they'll put out there. Whatever is best for the fight, whatever Gotham City needs, I'll be. But it's
So you're
not,
Batman.
Yeah, I'm Batman, and everyone else is Scarface. When he really was the mayor, not Two-Face.
Two-Face, there you go.
I did it again. See, I
got
said
you.
Scarface once in an interview, and I was like, oh my god, I was just talking about Al Pacino 2 seconds ago. That's why it leaked over. And I literally walked into the house the other day, and I was like, God damn it, Shayna, I called Two-Face Scarface. I'm the biggest idiot.
Is in any way acting sort of your thing of independence? This is my thing, where it doesn't have ties to anybody else. It's something you found and you're doing on your own?
No, I think MMA was more of that.
Okay.
Because when I said I want to do MMA, all my judo coaches told me I was, they told me to go screw myself, and my mom told me it was the stupidest thing she ever fucking heard. That was her exact line. She said, professional fucking crocheting doesn't exist, like I wouldn't support that either. Not that I don't think you wouldn't be great at it, but you're not gonna make any money off of crocheting, and that was kind of the thing, or it was, very much me versus the world, and I wanted to prove everybody wrong, and that's what really made me motivated me into my thing. The acting stuff just kind of really happened organically, and that one's more, me against all the MMA fans that hate me. I've just I've made this imaginary group of people into my villain now. One of the first times that I met with Stallone, he was telling me that it's one thing to be an actor, and it's another thing it's one thing to aspire to be an actor, and it's one thing to aspire to be a star. Yep. And if you're aspiring to be an actor, you could be someone's like amazing, masterful actor, like Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's amazing. But he always played, give you like a different look with every single character that he had. But then you have people like Al Pacino, who is Al Pacino as the gangster, Al Pacino as the cop, Al Pacino as the surgeon, and then he played himself in every situation. And he said that he told me that what really gives people that star factor is everyone wants to see you. They want to see you in these different roles, and so I'm not trying to be the next Meryl Streep or anything like that. That takes a lifetime of work, and I'm starting behind, and so I'm just trying very hard to be myself in every situation, in really high pressure situations. I try to be myself when I'm out there fighting. I'm a fighter first. These are all lessons that I took from fighting, and if they can transfer over and I could just be myself in other high pressure situations, like when there's a bunch of people pointed at me, like kind of right now, and I have to act normal, I mean, that's the best I can do, and that's what I'm really aiming for.
Win or lose with this fight, how long do you intend to take off in between, in the interim? Like, you probably not want to get back right away like you did with this fight.
Dana gave me a very generous, amount of time that I could take off, but I'm probably not going to take that long. It depends on when the company needs me and when I really feel like getting back. But my best hypothesis is probably late summer.